hanging out, getting groovy. We're back on the SGA Weekly Update on Wildcat 91.9. You belong. It's Jimmy Kaufman here in the saddle, joined by the president and vice president of SGA, Brady Kappelman and Zoe Pudens.
It's really just outreaching to high school students because I come from somewhere where not a lot of students from a high school even think K-State is an option for them. And so I was one of 7 of my graduating class that came here, and we were a 5A school in Kansas, which is wildly large, I would say.
Wait, which 5A?
I was from Piper, so grew up in Wyandotte County.
That's interesting. What? So you said that they don't view that Kansas State is an option. In what way do they have that barrier?
Yeah, I think a lot of it too, just the county in general. Community college is a great first option for a lot of those students, just financially and being close to home, maybe siblings that are still like in high school or going through different transitions of life. And then also KU is right down the road, and so it's really easy to commute back and forth. But for me, I didn't even see K-State as an option. I wanted to go out of state for a long time until I went on my campus visit, and that's when I really fell in love with K-State and everything it has to offer. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for, Bernie Family Welcome Center, the tour guides that give tours every single day. And so that's something I'm really passionate about and want, instead of waiting for students to come to us, we want to go directly to them, because as someone who wasn't involved in SGA as a freshman or even a sophomore, because you just don't really realize those options, or maybe you get, focused in one area and you stay there. But it wasn't until Brady came up to me, showed me what SGA really does and how that could benefit not only me as a student, but, all the 21,000 students we represent. And so from there, we're really showing them what SGA does, and then also just how to get involved with leadership on campus.
Yeah, 100%. And I love, because I'm a Johnson County kid, so I know what it's like for the Jayhawks everywhere out there. Okay, it's running rampant in the streets of Olathe, Kansas, as well as Wyandotte County. It's a bad deal. But I completely resonate with that idea of wanting to get to the students. And my first ever interview here for the SGA Weekly Update back in September was with members of the Student Outreach Committee. What are some of those ways in your mind, or what are the best ways to reach out to students?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Or aspiring students.
Aspiring, yeah. I think the biggest thing is when you're in high school and, you have maybe an admissions rep coming to talk to you, or someone as a representative of any university come talk to you, you really want to find someone that you can relate to. And I think something that's super important, something Brady and I have had a lot of conversations with students about, is until they see someone that they can resonate with, or someone that is in their shoes walking through K-State, they don't really understand the benefit. And so I think something super important is having students who, like from Wyandotte County, I go back to Piper, Wyandotte County, and I'm like, I grew up here, I know the walks of life you've experienced, and this is what K-State has done for me throughout my time here. And I think it's so important that students get people that they can, resonate with, people that they relate to show their experience, because it is really difficult to see yourself there until you see someone who's similar to you, grew up in the same area as you, really pursue that path.
Yeah, 100%. I can relate to that, because coming into Olathe South, or coming out of Olathe South, when I was in high school, I was like, I want to be a realtor. I don't even want to do college. College is a waste of time. I was wrong. I love college. But you. Let me see if you relate to this, Zoe. It sometimes feels like, when you go to a 5A or a 6A school, you then come to Manhattan, Kansas, at least when you're out there east towards Kansas City, you come to Manhattan, Kansas, and it is definitely a change of pace. Things slow down. I don't think aspiring students realize how good that can be for building character.
Yeah, I think something really awesome about K-State, and we talk about this all the time, is that town-gown relationship. I mean, basically, K-State wouldn't be what it is without Manhattan, and Manhattan wouldn't be what it is without K-State. And I think that's something very unique and special about our university. It's something students don't realize until they come here, and they go on their campus visit, they go on their tour, and then afterwards go to Rockabelly and see the alumni like flooding in there, or even like Takalucha, so long, all the places that really make Manhattan and K-State what it is.
Right, and you can feel at the moment you take the bridge into Manhattan, across the Kansas River, and you see Power Cats lining the bridge. I think that's one of the really cool things about Manhattan. It's something I've always been fond of, because I love seeing I'm a school spirit guy. I put into it so it can be rampant, and it's everywhere in Manhattan, Kansas, and it's just a good feeling. Brady, we've talked a little bit about some of the initiatives with Zoe. I want to hear some of the initiatives that you're really gung-ho about, and some things that you were really passionate about this year.
Yeah. So I think the Emerging Leaders Summit is something that we're very excited about to see how that's going to end up. Another big discussion that we've had after meeting with students across various different colleges is implementing long-range plans across every major. This is something that would help you plan all the classes that you're going to take during your 3, 4, 5 years while you're at K-State. Figure out what you're wanting to do. We think by giving students more autonomy and choosing their classes and having a better awareness of what they're going to do will help students be able to take more control of their time at K-State, and I think maybe have less questions about what's next for them. They'll be able to see it as a freshman. An experience Zoe and I shared was we're both marketing and sales majors, and in the College of Business, we create long-range plans as freshmen. And after talking to a lot of various different students last year, we realized some programs have something similar, but not everyone gets to have a long-range plan. So we think that implementing something like this would be a really great way to help students take more control of their classes, especially when, as freshmen, we don't always know what we're going to do as a job. But if you decide you want to change majors and you're able to see what classes are going to be easier to transfer and things like that, we really just want to help students make sure that they're able to take control and have awareness of what their K-State experience is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's, I have a roommate who's actually a sales marketing guy. Okay. Shout out Gage, and he also works here. But he, I see. First of all, you guys are troopers, all right? I see that homework. I couldn't do that homework. I'm still trying to color in the lines. But, that's something, there's a little bit of structure in the major I'm in, right? News and sports media. But even then, you get to kind of choose your path, choose your own adventure because there are 3 different options. But I'm taking public speaking right now. I'm a senior who has been doing radio for 2 years, who is taking public speaking. And, of course, I was open option early, so that I guess the set path was not yet taken. But it would, it is kind of crazy that, a senior with because of the lack of structure maybe that's implemented into these majors is in a public speaking course.
Sure.
But yeah, I think does that play into the Emerging Leaders Summit in your mind at all?
I guess if we look at our big vision for one of the big things that we wanted to do was empowering students. Our campaign platforms was engage, evolve, and empower. We see the Emerging Leaders Summit as a great way to engage with high school students and empower them to see that leadership on a college campus is a very realistic and attainable goal. I think the Emerging Leaders Summit is we want people to see that K-State is a real possibility. If you want to go to community college or a smaller school, that's great. But we don't want to scare people away because I think oftentimes when you see what K-State has to offer, when you actually visit, oftentimes people are surprised on how good of a community we have and how really just a welcoming, we talk about K-State family. I truly feel when I visited and did my campus tour that that's a real thing. So I think bringing people on our campus to be able to experience that at an early age is great. But then I think when you look at long-range plans and some of those things, I think that kind of takes it further because I think everyone should have some sense of belonging when they're at K-State. And if you're able to see, you come here as a freshman, you're excited to do leadership, but you're also able to see, okay, when I'm going to start my classes, these are the things that I want to accomplish in 4 years. Or maybe you see I can graduate in 3 years and save money. I think every student should be able to have that sense of autonomy and just find that sense of belonging in their program and everything else they want to do.
Yeah, that makes total sense. When you look at the plans for trying to set out these 4-year kind of, I guess, course corrections, if you will, and setting that path, how does that play into, if someone needs to switch a major sophomore year? You're 2 years in, hey, I don't want to be a music major. That was me, whatever. So how does that change, or how can they change that path and still not mess up maybe the things they've been doing?
Sure. That's a great question. And I think that's one of the really cool things that our administration has really worked well with us in having these discussions and involving our cabinet and Zoe and I in these discussions. One of the big things that we've looked at is a software that include every college is using the same software. So that say you are in a music major and you want to switch to engineering or something like that, you're able to easily...
Crazy switch.
That
by
would
the
be
way.
a crazy switch.
Holy, you're a trooper.
Yeah, I respect whoever does that. But it would kind of be an easy way for you to be able to take what you've already done, see what classes you've already checked off. Because realistically, when you change a major, there are going to be a lot of new requirements. But then you'd at least be able to easily see like, oh, well, I took public speaking already, so I don't need to do that class again. Something like that.
So make it kind of easier to run a DARS audit almost.
Exactly.
Like an easier DARS audit. That's
Yeah.
good because I still can't read the DARS audit. I still do not know
Yeah.
what the DARS audit is telling me. There are 17 X's, and yet I only need 4 classes to graduate. I'm
Exactly.
still lost. So, but no, and that makes, when you lay it out like that, that makes a lot of sense because I started my college career as a music major for one day. And then
Wow.
I went open option after one music theory test on the first floor of this building. But I would be one of those people. I'm like, I would need a way to find structure that's a little bit more fluid as I try and figure out what I want because I didn't choose my major until sophomore year. So when you lay it out like that, it makes it a lot easier to course correct in that way. So yeah, it's very cool. And Zoe, what do you think about this Emerging Leaders Summit, and what do you hope it does for the outreach mission for aspiring students?
Yeah, I think something really great about this summit in general is we're directly reaching out to those high school students who maybe they know they want to get involved in leadership or some kind of organization when they come to college, whether that is K-State or not. But they don't really know how exactly that's going to work. And I think for us, for them, like they know before they even come to K-State as a freshman what SGA does, what it can do for them as not only a student, but how can they get involved, whether that's in the exec branch, judicial, legislative branch, in whatever kind of areas or responsibilities they want to uphold. And I think also in general, we're trying to it not just about SGA, but all the incredible student organizations that we have here. So bringing SAB involved in this, Greek Life and MSO organizations, and from there, like even if a student comes to the summit and they're like, maybe SGA is not for me, but I really love what Student Alumni Board is doing. I want to learn how to get more involved there. And I think it's just a direct way of not only our mission and what our administration wanted to do, but the university as a whole is wanting to always increase recruitment and enrollment, and also sustaining those students too, because we can recruit them, they can come here, but how can we ensure that they, get to that graduation date? And I think a part of that is that student belonging that Brady was talking about earlier. And a lot of the belonging and why I love K-State is because I love my classes, I love the business building, but all the student organizations I've been a part of, the people that I surround myself with there, have really pushed me to be where I'm at now. And I think that's so important as a, first day freshman. You already have like one foot in the door. You already kind of know what your K-State experience is going to look like before you even get here.
And honestly, that's I think something this campus really needs when it comes to the outreach of students. Because as an aspiring freshman, it kind of feels like a free fall, especially when you go open option on your first day of classes. You're like, okay, cool. I don't know like what I'm doing. You're trying to figure out maybe living on your own for the first time. That was my experience. You're trying to figure out who are my friends, what's going on here. You're meeting so many people. I think the stability that could come with, I know what club I want to join, and kind of almost treating the summit like a career fair in a way for aspiring students is a good way to, keep them locked in, even when other things are kind of free falling. You know what I mean? So I love that. I think that's a super cool idea. What importance does, letting aspiring students know about the resources that they have to their disposal? What is the importance of that in terms of recruitment?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier. You come here and it's kind of like, oh, I can get involved in 500 student organizations. That is really overwhelming. I don't even know where I want to start. And I think especially with SGA, I mean, we touch every single student here, no matter if you know what SGA is or not. Like your student dollars are going to SGA and how we can fund, whether that is like funding your club, going to a traveling event or conference even, just like the different ways that SGA has those resources. And I think it's so important that students know what those dollars are going towards and how they can really utilize them too. We have our campus connections director, Kylie Temple, and she really has done great work going to student organizations, giving presentations, showing them what SGA does and how they can help them. And she even helped the swim club do their application for some allocations, and they're really thankful for her. And I think it's how can we continue for that for all clubs, all the student organizations on campus, and really pushing them to use the funding that SGA does provide.
Kylie Temple was with us here on the first episode of this year's SGA Weekly Update. Shout out Kylie. And she talked a little bit more about that. And it was a super cool opportunity to get students involved. And I think the opportunity to get involved is something that students, I don't think they realize when they're coming to Kansas State or when they're at Kansas State for some of them. The more you get involved, the more it's going to pay, it's going to put quote unquote, metaphorical money in your pocket, right? It's going to give back to you just as much as you put into it when you invest in this campus. That's what I found when I get involved with clubs, with this, with that, it's not just classes for K-State. And what you do outside of it, sure, it might be fun, but getting involved on campus is that's where the real money's at for me. So,
Absolutely.
Brady, what are your thoughts on student involvement, and what can the Student Summit do for maybe current students with the emerging leaders?
Yeah. So one of the really cool things that we're hoping to do with the Emerging Leaders Summit is to have a panel of student leaders that, people that aren't involved in SGA, that are involved in things like Student Alumni Board, maybe Wildcat 91.9 maybe we'll see you there.
Come on.
But bringing students that are involved in different things, because there is a part of us that we want to show that like leadership and student government is a really great way to be involved, but there's also so many other ways that you can get involved. So for current students, we really want it to be a thing where they can start getting connected with high school students early on. Say, hey, are you interested in news and sports media? We have this great radio station you can be involved with, or, we have the Student Foundation that has great ways that you can get involved with philanthropy in college. So there's all these different things that we hope to utilize these other student organizations and partner with them to better share what their organizations offer.
Yeah, and that's incredibly important when you look at, how I think the big thing, Kylie, what do you think about the importance of context for a club when students just hear the name? Like when they hear SGA, they might be like, I don't even know. I don't even want to go into it because I don't know what it is. What's the importance of the students knowing, having context on what the clubs do and how they can get involved? What importance is that in aspiring students?
Yeah, I think it's really important because when I came into college, I knew I wanted to study business, but really had no idea what that meant. I was like, you know what, I'll be a business student. We'll see what happens from there. Maybe I'll transfer to a different college at K-State, like Health and Human Sciences or something.
Okay, I thought you meant like
no,
whole
never.
university.
No, not at all. I was just like, you know what, I don't quite know what I want to do, but we'll figure it out from there. And I think I got involved in sales ambassadors, and before that I was like, what is a sales ambassador? I don't even quite know what they do. But if I would have gotten involved in that quite earlier on, because I knew the context of that organization, I could have started my career in sales way earlier than I even did. And I think something for SGA too, like Student Governing Association, can kind of sound like it's a partisan environment, like there's different parties, but it is a non-partisan group that truly wants to help students, and you're just advocating for student needs. That's your sole purpose as a student senator, as a member on our cabinet. And so I think knowing context behind these student organizations can help you get involved in them a lot earlier on from the get-go, and really be able to build your career in those student organizations. So for STUFO, for example, I'm super passionate about philanthropy, but if I didn't know coming into K-State that this was an option for me, maybe I wouldn't have gotten involved, and then I would have waited way too long, and oh my gosh, I'm a junior now, can I even still get involved in these student organizations? And so I think just from the get-go, what's really great for these student organizations to come and table at these events is they're just getting those students from the get-go. And I think even for Wildcat 91.9, for example,
You belong.
Yeah, where you belong. If I'm a student, I know I'm super passionate about journalism, news and sports media, and I know K-State has this program. I'm going to go to K-State because this is awesome and I want to do
Bang!
Yeah, and I want to do this. So I think just in general, we're going to be increasing awareness, recruitment, and hopefully enrollment.
I hope that it bears fruit, if you will, and it already has a little bit. I've noticed that there's been a downward trend in enrollment when I first came to the university, but the past year or two, it slowly started crawling back up. And when we crawl back up from break, we'll be talking more with Brady Kappelman, Zoe Pudens about who they are as people, and then we're going to be talking more yapping, maybe about some basketball or a little bit of the K-State master plan. All of that and more is coming up here on the SGA Weekly Update on Wildcat 91.9. You belong. Hanging out, getting groovy. We're back on the SGA Weekly Update on Wildcat 91.9. You belong. It's Jimmy Kaufman here in the saddle, joined by the president and vice president of SGA, Brady Kappelman and Zoe Pudens. How are we doing? First segment now. On the belt. We're good. How are we feeling?
Feeling great.
Feeling good.
Jimmy, you're awesome.
Hey, thank you. You guys are awesome. All right, we're keeping it cool. I'm having I'm a little jazzed. I didn't even have my energy drink today. All right, I'm a little bit of a caffeine guy, a little bit of a caffeine addict. I have not yet cracked open the energy drink, so there's more energy to come.
It's just a Friday thing, I think.
Oh, I think it is. It's Friday.
Hey, I love it.
I'm sorry. I know that one was bad. So, anywho, enough talking about me. We talked a lot about what you guys do, right? On a day-to-day basis, what your job entails, some of the goals you want to set here as president and vice president, some of the things that you're really involved in and looking forward for the rest of this semester and into the next. But we didn't talk enough about you. So, Zoe, let's go ahead and get started with you. You started at Piper High School. What was the journey like to find yourself sitting in this seat and being a member of Kansas State University?
Yeah, so I originally did not want to stay in the state of Kansas. I'm the oldest child. My parents were very much expecting me to go just about everywhere but staying here in Kansas. And then I had a friend who was on the dance team here, the Class Cats, and she was like, Zoe, based off of what you're saying about what you want in a college, you want somewhere that is Division I but feels like a small town community. You feel like you're somewhere where you can fit in and find leadership opportunities. I think K-State would be a great fit for you. And so I came on my campus visit, honestly not really looking forward to it. And then by the end of the day, in my car ride home, my mom was like, wow, I can tell you really, really loved K-State. And I think that just goes to show my passion for, giving tours and working for the recruitment admissions office that's my experience. I wouldn't be here without it. And so from there, I got involved in my sorority, Gamma Phi Beta, which has really uplifted kind of my experience here at K-State, just Greek life in general, being around older women who had their time at K-State, got involved in different things, and having them give me the confidence to run for different positions. So I was in Quest Freshman Honorary as well and found a lot of great mentors through that, through Blue Key Senior Honorary. And so I've been in Student Alumni Board. I was the president of G-Phi, feels like forever ago. That really uplifted my experience too, because I think the Greek life community here is amazing. And from there, when Brady approached me about running for student body vice president, I would say Greek life was one of the biggest support systems that we had throughout our campaign season because of the community that is the FSL community here. And so from there, I've also got involved in Blue Key Senior Honorary and now serving as student body vice president. But I always look back, if my junior year I never came and visited K-State, I don't know what would have happened. I probably wouldn't even be in the state right now. And so I'm so thankful and lucky for, the people that have surrounded us here and have really given us a community.
Man, your resume has to be like a novel. you named off like 7 different acronyms that I didn't. Like 7 different associations. That's incredible. You said you wanted to go out of state originally. Mm-hmm. What would the out of state school been? The requirements. Division I, probably Power 4. Yeah? Or would that not have mattered?
I don't know. I don't know if it would have mattered.
Okay, well, Division I, and you needed a small town feel. Uh-huh. So what would the other options have been?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying my whole family is from Iowa. So both my parents grew up in Iowa. I would have been a Cyclone. So I... What? So, but again, like I said, my whole family grew up in Iowa, and doing competitive dance growing up, I never really got to see them because I was always traveling, always busy, and so I would miss Christmas all the time with my family, Thanksgiving, and so I really wanted to be closer to them. And my cousin also was going to Iowa State, was the same age as me, and I love Iowa, I love Iowa State, but K-State is always going to have my heart, and I'm very thankful to be here.
Come on, yeah, take that, Cyclones.
Yeah.
Come on. No, and that's honestly, okay, you lay it out, yeah, that's noble, but you made the right decision.
Yeah.
You made the right decision because I always say I love Iowa State people. Iowa State people are K-State fans who have bad decision making. That's all they are. That's all they are. We're all the same. We all, they're very sweet people, but they chose the wrong school. But no, that makes sense. Wanting to stay by family. Have you still been able to stay, pretty close and connected with the fam?
Yeah, every year. So my cousin graduated early. She's now in law school, but we would visit each other. So every year I'd go to Iowa State for a weekend. I was there for the Iowa State K-State game last year when it was freezing cold, bad loss. It was really rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, we visit each other every year. And then this year, going to Thanksgiving. And what's really nice, too, about staying in the state as well is my younger brother's 2 years younger than me, and he's at Baker playing football. And so now I have the opportunity to go see him more often just because I'm moving to Texas next year. So really getting that. Yeah.
Texas?
Yeah.
What's in Texas?
So I'm going to be working at Dell Technologies in Austin, Texas.
No way. Dell?
Yeah.
No way. And in Austin. Austin's a great city.
Fun time. Yeah.
Everything I've seen. Horns down, though.
Yeah.
Just so
True.
we're all
Exactly.
on the same page. That we're back. No, but honestly, that's super cool, and I'm glad that you found your home at K-State. It sounds like you got incredibly involved at Kansas State. But good job not going to Iowa State.
Yeah.
It's beautiful campus, whatever. Hilton College. We're not worried about it. All right, we're not worried about it. How are the Farmageddon rivalries in the family? Tensions high?
Hey, what's great though is so my dad grew up in Carroll, Iowa, used to be a Cyclone fan, but now that I go to K-State, he is a diehard Wildcat fan. So, yeah, very happy about that. When we play Iowa State, he's always wearing purple. So, you know what? Thankful.
Shout out, Mr. Pudens.
Yeah.
That rocks. That rocks. Brady, okay, let's go to you now. You find your way here. You're the president of SGA. What was your journey just to get to Kansas State?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Liberal, Kansas, which is a small town in southwest Kansas. My mom went to K-State, and a lot of her side of the family did that. My dad went to KU, so also grew up in a house divided.
Goodness, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But I kind of growing up, I'm not going to lie, kind of liked both. But I think there was always a side of me that kind of leaned purple. And as I got older, I think I got a little smarter. So I always kind of knew, always knew that K-State was going to be the place that I wanted to go. So I remember coming on my campus tour, probably September of my senior year. I hadn't been up to the campus a lot besides, football games and baseball games and all that kind of stuff. But seeing the campus was immediately, I feel like I had a very similar Office of Recruitment and Admissions experience. I think the big thing for me coming from a small town was kind of the opposite. K-State felt kind of big to me. Like going to a D1 school, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. But I remember my tour guide just waving at like every other person that walked by because he knew them. And that was kind of what sold me. And I mean, you walk into the business building and you see how incredible it is. You see the student union. You just see so many of the great things that K-State has. And, I think our greatest thing that we have here is the people. So it's true. It's true. So I feel like after my tour, I was like, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. So my freshman year, I moved into West Hall. So I was in the Derby community. Derb on top.
Shout out Derb.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry. We fault guy over there. Kramer.
I don't know. But yeah, so lived in West Hall. Really enjoyed that. Got involved with student government immediately. I did student council in high school and, always kind of had the idea of student body president in the back of my mind. But then I got involved with student mobilization, or STUMO. So that's a campus ministry that I'm a part of. And then got involved in sales ambassadors and all those kind of things. And as my time in college went on, eventually I got exposed to Greek life. I got to helped serve on the student body president's campaign 2 years before me, and he was in Farmhouse, and talked to him a lot about it. So I eventually joined Farmhouse fraternity my sophomore year. And I think with all those different experiences, I've truly just been blessed with my time at K-State, being exposed to incredible relationships, being pushed to grow as a leader, grow in my faith, and all those various different things. And I think through that support that I was given by people older than me, by mentors, faculty, really going into this role was something that I was just already kind of wanted to do, but was just furthered. And I really thank those people that helped me get to that point. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about how I got here.
That's incredible. I want to go, first of all, favorite K-State game you've been to?
Ooh.
You're a K-State guy.
Okay. I think my best K-State game I've been to was my freshman year. So this would have been 3 years ago. It was K-State versus KU basketball game in Bramlage. When we beat them, this was Coach Tang's first year. We got to rush the court. I thankfully did end up making it on the court, barely. But that was just an incredible experience.
83 to 82. I
Yeah.
believe it was Keontae who threw that ball up in the air as the clock hit 0. Oh, I was there.
Yeah,
I was there. I had a bucket hat on and blue and white striped
as
overalls.
you should.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
No, that very good pick. Zoe?
Yeah.
I'd have to say, I mean, I agree with the KU K-State pick. I was also there, got to rush the court. But mine would also be from freshman year's Oklahoma State K-State game. Yeah,
That's
when
what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we rushed the field, that was awesome. I was really hoping I would have like a full circle experience of like freshman year rushing the field,
Yeah.
and then senior year, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I don't see that happening. I
yeah.
don't think we're going to rush the field for beating Colorado if we do.
We were a front row game for Texas Tech, and they kept saying that like they didn't want us to rush the field, but not the best outcome.
One in Rome, right? One in Rome. One in front row. No, those would be my two picks. Those are the two things I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, and it's all, touching the field, touching the court. I'm always like, that was incredible. Great year for sports. Hopefully K-State basketball does the same. No, but I want to kick it to the campaign now, right? So I want to start, Brady, we'll start with you. You're like, okay, let's do a campaign. What was the moment like where you're like, okay, I guess I'm just going to be I'm going to try and be the student body president now?
Yeah. I think it first started, it was something that I had been thinking about for a while. It was something, I was really like praying through, like, is this something I actually want to do? I think having mentorship, like Caleb Stout, for example, he was the president 2 years ago, talking to him about it. I was campaign manager for Paige Vogelmore and Jack O'Malley, and that was an incredible experience, getting to help support their campaign and see their leadership come to life. So I think through those experiences, I was just kind of like, this is what I want to do. I still remember the day like yesterday. Zoe and I met at Blue Stem. It was like late April of our sophomore year. We meet at Blue Stem. I think everything good starts at Blue Stem. Not an ad.
The stem to the tree, maybe.
Yeah. But we met at Blue Stem, and, at the time, Zoe kind of already mentioned, like, wasn't involved in student government, but I just remember, Zoe and I were connected by a mutual friend. Shout out to Hallie Hartner.
Hallie.
Shout out Hallie.
Yeah. So I always kind of knew who Zoe was, but just saw like her involvement and things like that. And I was like, I think that this could be a really great partnership. Having someone, I think, we talk about this a lot, but like one of the great things about like a president and a vice president is like, I feel like we complement each other, and like my strengths I can use in one certain way, and Zoe has strengths that maybe I don't have. So, we had that conversation. At the time, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out. And Zoe can kind of touch on that more. But then it was over the summer that Zoe's like, hey, can we talk? So we called. I was actually in Washington, D.C. at the time. Zoe was in Rome,
Yeah,
right?
I was in Rome, yeah.
So we were super far away, but we figured it out, decided we were going to run together. So kind of had the summer to start brainstorming, and then fast forward to school year, started building our campaign team, finding our campaign managers, Delaney Hunley and Sam Keene, And then really from that, we just built that team of students that were willing to support us, that were willing to share their ideas. And yeah, it was truly an incredible experience. And I think a lot of that is like the team that we were able to build and the fact that we did it together.
Yeah, I mean that's such a cool experience to have, to get to put that kind of thing together. Zoe, what was that moment in Blue Stem like for you? Like, how did that go in your mind?
Well, it's funny because I kind of knew it was coming in a way. So Paige Volgamore, who was student body president before Brady, was my roommate in G5 at the time. And so I really got to watch her throughout the campaign. Jack has been one of my really close friends since freshman year. And so being able to support them through that time was really exciting. And just seeing how much impact they could have on the university and like students directly. I think I knew going into my junior year after I was done being president with G5, I wanted to do something that really impacted students directly. And once Brady approached me about this opportunity, I just kept thinking about it. I was like, give me some time. I just want to think about the, it's a long commitment. I mean, not only are you committing to the campaign, but then if you get elected, you're committing to that as well. And so every day I just kept thinking about it. I studied abroad that summer and just kept talking to my friends about it. Shout out Hallie, she was there with me, and my friend Emily, and they were like, I just think this could be something that you'd be really great at, and I want to see you do that. And so that's when I called Brady. I think I asked him like a million questions. I had like so many questions in my notes app that I had prepared, but no, Brady gave a good sell, and so here we are now.
Boom, salesman. Hey,
Sales.
Hey,
Sales.
Marketing. Wait, hold on. It all just clicked for me. It actually all just clicked for me. That's insane. No, and that's such a cool opportunity to get to campaign. What was the campaign strategy like? What was kind of your main the main thing that the well you went to, I guess, when it was time to get the word out?
Yeah. So the things that we realized really quickly was, Zoe and I were both doing sales and marketing, both in the College of Business, both in Greek life. So we had a lot of those like commonalities, but I think we realized really quickly that if we want to truly build a campaign that's representative of this university, that we need to build a team of people that are across various different groups, organizations, off campus, on campus living. So really when we were going at creating our team, we were thinking about people that maybe we'd already known of, but we were also getting connected to other students that were in different Greek houses than we were, that were in different majors, different colleges, people that were living in the dorms, people that were living off campus. Because truly, I think our view of it is if we want to build this platform of issues that we want to try and improve, then I think we need to do our best to get a good gauge of what every type of student is looking for. So
yeah, 100%. That's a really good way to look at it, because you can go off of commonalities in terms of chemistry, but then when it's time to figure out student outreach, hold on, it's all looping back. It's all looping back. It's all looping back. It's all about outreach. Yeah. It's all about reaching out, and that's going to be that's our memo for today. All right, that's our slogan: reaching out. Make sure you reach out. You know what I mean? Also, speaking of reaching out, happy late birthday to Zoe as well. It was your birthday a couple days ago. We got the word. Want to say happy birthday. And that's super cool. So then you end up being president, vice president now. What was the moment like when you got that election and you realized, hey, job done?
Yeah, I think it was a sense of relief, honestly. I think it was a really fun process, going through campaigning, meeting with people, and then actually we officially started campaigning in January of 2025, and that was a lot of fun. But I think the moment that it was wow, all this work, all this these meetings and everything came into fruition. We had a group of people, we got together and we all met at Kites. My parents and my grandparents were able to show up too, which was fun. But it was truly just a special experience being surrounded by our friends that supported us. And I honestly, it just made me feel grateful, because I truly don't think that we could have done this without the support of our friends and people that were willing to take time out of their semesters to support us. So it was truly just a surreal experience. Yeah.
Zoe, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I agree with Brady 100%. I think the best part about this university are the people. And I think we got to see that directly. Like, I see it every single day when I go to class, when I go to work, when I go to my meetings that I have. But truly, like, seeing that camaraderie come together, and, you know, friends that I met my freshman year of college, to now, like, seeing how our friendship has gotten closer, our relationships. And I think something really awesome, too, is watching students get so passionate about maybe the different initiatives we had, because though Brady and I had our specific passions, a lot of the initiatives that we campaigned on were from students and their ideas and platforms that they wanted to see increase and get better. And I think that was something super cool. And one of my favorite moments is when we built our cabinet, and just watching the directors, like, seriously, they get so excited, so passionate about their specific realm. And again, it's not only what Brady and I believe could improve at the university, what we see is going well. It's what, you know, our cabinet as a whole that's representing the student body from all walks of life has been super exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's such good teamwork, and an ability to, you know, put stuff like that together is really tough. What is this job as Prez and Vice Prez? What have those positions taught you both the most here in this short semester thus far?
Yeah. I think something so far that I've learned is truly what a privilege it is to be like K-State Wildcats. Truly, I think the amount of collaboration our administration has to understand and meet with students is something that you don't see at other schools. You know, maybe they have relationships with administration, but I think K-State really cares about our students. So I think that's a big thing that I've seen. And I think just through this role have seen like the privilege of like service. And I think this is not the only two roles where you can serve and like give back. But I think whether it's like with your friends, whether it's, you know, student organizations you get involved with, or your church, or like the Manhattan community in general, I think we all have a way that we can like be servant leaders. And I think that this role has like furthered that, because truly like we did not do this for like ourselves. I think like I did this because I have a passion for K-State and I have a passion for the students that are here, and I want other people to have a good K-State experience like I've gotten to have.
Mm-hmm.
Very noble, 100%. Zoe, anything? What have you learned here in your time as vice president?
I think something really amazing and unique about K-State is how much our administration wants to work with student and student leaders. I think when we go talk to different universities, talk to different SGAs, even in the Big 12, you don't hear that same experience. I mean, the Dean of Students, Dr. Thomas Lane, is our direct advisor, which, again, so crazy that someone to, like, his prestige and his level is dedicating every single week to meeting with us and working through different student issues. He always, I mean, yesterday we got coffee with him, which we usually do every week, and he just wants to hear, how can I help? How can I be of, service to you? And getting to get breakfast with President Linton every month as well, too. It's just something you're not seeing at other universities, and I think it just goes to show, again, how much K-State as a whole really values its students and wants us to succeed.
100%. You're serving others, you're reaching out. That's the tagline for this episode. When we return, we're wrapping up the SGA Weekly Update with Brady Kappelman and Zoe Pudens. All that and more coming up on Wildcat 91.9. You belong. Serving others, reaching out, and wrapping up the SGA Weekly Update on Wildcat 91.9. You belong. It's Jimmy Kaufman, joined by the president and vice president of the SGA, Brady Kappelman, and Zoe Pudens, here to finish out the SGA Weekly Update. Guys, thank you for joining me for the past hour.
Thanks
for having us.
It's been awesome.
It's been a blast, man. It's been a lot of fun. Before we go, though, I just want to make sure we have all of our ducks in order. Are there any final things that maybe you want to leave the aspiring students or current students with if they're listening out there?
Yeah. I mean, getting involved at K-State is the best thing that you can do. I feel like we're old being seniors now, but I think we've all three share that similar experience of involvement is like the best thing that we've done that's enhanced our K-State experience.
Yep.
So I guess for people listening, if you're thinking about getting involved, don't be afraid to reach out to people older than you or that are doing something that you want to do. because I think people are genuinely wanting to help support you and help you get to where you want to be at K-State.
Exactly.
I think going off of that, as a senior, don't be afraid to invest time in freshmen and sophomores. I think the reason I am here today is because of those mentors that decided to invest time in me, and I think it's so important in your last few months at K-State, and you think about how am I leaving this university. It's so important to invest in like the future, the next generation of K-State. And last night, Brady and I got our new mentees. Shout out Kendra and Asher, and so that's like super exciting that we get that opportunity. But I think just in general, reach out to your other students. If you are a senior, get involved with that next generation, and yeah.
100%. Finally, final question, and then we'll release you from this chamber. K-State or Oklahoma State tomorrow?
K-State.
Cats
Come
by
on.
90.
Come
Cats by
on.
90.
Hype me up. Come on.
Let's go.
That's darn tootin'. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the SGA Weekly Update. Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Zoe, for joining me. We have been presidential here for the past hour. It's time to go back to my residential. Thank you so much for listening to the SGA Weekly Update. We'll be back again next week with another cast of wacky characters joining me in these very chairs next week. But until then, from Zoe Pudens, from Brady Kappelman, and from Jimmy Kaufman, signing off saying thank you for listening and go Cats. This is Wildcat 91.9. You belong.